I discovered a secret many years ago that the quality of life that people live is in proportion to something, and that thing is the power of information. In some of my videos, I defined what information is all about. Information is the language by which you make something to work because you already understand how that particular thing works. For instance, I already know how to open every door in my house. You may say that that's so simple, but it's not as simple as you think. For instance, my gate, now to open the padlock, there's a way you open it. At times you put the key, you turn the key, it doesn't turn. There's a way you push the padlock inside before you turn the key, before that padlock can open. So even if you give somebody the key to your house, the person can get to the gate and start fumbling, even though they have the key. Why? Because they do not know how it works. If the person calls you and you try to instruct the person on how each of those things behave, let's say how the padlock behaves, that when you get to that padlock, it behaves funny. You have to push it inside before you turn the key, or you have to shake it before you turn the key. Now, what you're trying to do to that person is you're trying to inform that person about how the padlock works. So information is the language of how something works, how a system works. That's just the layman definition of what information is all about. So if you understand how something works, you're already informed about that particular thing, or you are informed in that area of life. I can give so many examples. For instance, if you know how to drive a car, you are informed about driving a car. So to be informed means to understand the language of a particular thing. And because you understand the language, the way you respond to that thing will be in an informed manner. That is, you can speak the language something understands back to it. Now, that's what information is. I'm just trying to lay a foundation. I'm not talking about the power of information today, but to tell you how something works relative to how you can get paid 10x more, or how you can become better in life. It has to do with information. Now, what I want to teach is there are 5 levels of information. There are 5 doors of information that you will have to enter to get better and better in life. So in a simple way, I drew something here. Each of these things is a door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's say each door represents a level of information. So this is the first level of information. This is the second level of information, third, fourth, fifth. Now, this first level of information is where a lot of people are. And that's what I call generic or common. So this is where a lot of people are. Now, the second level of information is where people begin to probe into things. So this second level is where people begin to probe or question the information on level 1. So the moment you begin to question the information on one level, you move to the next level. So this is the first probing stage. So when you probe the generic information, you move to this level of information, and this level of information here is the next level, which is higher than the first level. This area is where many people are. We struggle. We go to school, we collect certificates, we're looking for a job, we get within the pool of average people. We are earning an income. Then we begin to struggle. We struggle to buy land, we struggle to build a house, struggle to buy a car. That's even if we can afford to. Why? Because we operate in a level of information that is generic. Most people stay at that level till they die. Most people stay at this level and they never cross to the second door. Most people in this second door stay there. They live and die there. They don't know that there's another door that they can enter. And let me tell you, entering through all these doors, the only one that guarantees complete freedom is the last one. This is where you experience freedom and rest, meaning that struggle continues through door 1, door 2, door 3, door 4. Though the struggle reduces, this is where there is abundance of struggles, abundance of problems, abundance of pains, and this is where most people stay, at that first level. I call it the generic or the common information. That's the kind of information we inherited from our parents. Things that we're being told. You're just being told, just go to school, just read medicine, just become a doctor, just become a lawyer, just become this, become that. Plus, even when it comes to other aspects of life, they just told us some things, but we never challenge any of those things. We just took it hook, line, and sinker, and we transfer it to our own children too. I don't want to hear anything. Just go to school, collect your certificate, then go and look for a job. That's generic or common information. But you only become aware of the second door of information when you begin to ask questions that will challenge the information within the first door. And you must ask the right questions. Do you know the kind of questions people ask to stay in a particular door or a particular level of information? They ask why. For instance, you've heard people ask the question, why me? Why are all these things happening to me? Why is it that I went to school and I cannot get a job? Why is it that my salary is not increasing? Why is it that I cannot feed my family? Why? When you keep asking the question why, you stay at a level for a long time without moving, without growing. But if you change your question from why to how, then you are challenging the information that controls this door. Then you start becoming aware that there's another door you can enter. And if you ask, how can I leave this place? Then you wait for an answer. Not just asking the question. You ask the question and you wait for an answer. It is only the people that ask, how can this thing be done? How can I earn 10x more? How can I multiply my salary? How can I serve more people? How can I use this skill to serve more people and get paid? How do people make it that are richer than me? You're not asking why. Why is it the only one? I have better education, better qualification. Why am I not richer? You will stay there forever. But if you change it to how does he do it? How do they do it? How do they drive this car? How can I learn how to drive? Then you start becoming aware of the possibility of another door that you can enter. And by asking how, you are knocking. Remember what Jesus said? He says that ask, you shall receive. Seek, you shall find. Knock, and the door shall be opened. How do you ask to receive? You ask how. How do you knock for the door to be opened? You ask how. When you ask how, you are knocking. The door will be opened unto you. So you become aware of the next level to enter into. Let me tell you something. If today you ask, how can I reach more people? Then you keep asking and you are waiting for an answer. Before you know it, you just start discovering ways to get it done. Just like one man said, he said, when the student is ready, the teacher will show up. And the only way that the teacher will show up is when the student is asking, how can I do it? Not why. Because when you're asking why, you will never see any teacher to teach you. But if you ask, how can I do it? I've been a doctor for years. How come it's only my salary that I'm earning every month? I deserve times 10. How can I earn times 10? By the time you change the question you ask from why to how, it means you want to learn. If you want to learn, the teacher will show up and you'll be surprised that within a few months or within a short period of time, you're already becoming aware of another door to enter. And the information required to enter that door will be made available to you. Don't forget what I said the information is. It's the language of how something works, meaning that you will start learning how something works on another level. It means you will start learning how to earn more money. It means you will start learning how to be better than you are today. So if you can ask how, the teachers that will teach you will show up. And if you want to learn more, if you want to change your question from why to how today, then I want to tell you there is a group that I've started for professionals. You're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're an engineer, you are a surgeon, whoever you are. If you ask how today, there's a place where they teach you how to move from where you are to where you're supposed to be and get paid 10x more. If you want to join this group, I want you to check the link below this video, or if you're watching on social media, just comment 10x more. Then I'll send you the link to join the group. I'll see you in the next one.